Those are the two tropes that people who are anti-black have for us, that we're uneducated and that and we're thugs, we're violent. When you hear stuff like that, I mean, what goes through your mind, bro? How does that make you feel?
For one, I feel like ignorance to a certain extent is not an excuse. Just for some fact that if you chose to, like when we chose to do this podcast, we have to, then there's a burden put upon us to actually educate ourselves on the formalities and the things you can and cannot do, things you can and cannot say.
Sometimes you gotta take the L. If she don't like you, bro, take the L. We are back. Welcome back to the Porchlight Theory. Welcome back. Episode 10. Excellent.
We made
this is the
10,
Porchlight Theory, where we have unfiltered conversations, but sometimes it is necessary. I'm Tristan, and the coolest brother is in the room with me right now. What's up, bro?
Nothing much, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's Friday. We're recording on Friday. And I can't complain, man. I can't complain.
Good.
It's nice and cool in my apartment. I got a cold drink to the left, but I got nothing on my right.
To the right.
Yeah, I got my good topics to the right.
There you go. See, clean that up. Clean that up.
So, I feel like these past few days, bro, I've been seeing people on the news just talking out the side of their neck as if there's no consequences behind it. There was like this one incident. Well, there was this one incident with those with that Notre Dame podcast. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was a little spicy. They went to the Don Imus level of just putrid radio airwaves, whatever medium you want to use. Like that rhetoric is old. Like, wow, you calling football players thugs now? They have a whole white quarterback.
The folks up to speed on this story?
So there were these 4 gentlemen that have a Notre Dame University podcast. If you aren't aware, Notre Dame and it was University of Miami played this past weekend. University of Miami went on to beat Notre Dame. It was actually a great game actually to watch. Yeah, if you have the chance, I would say go watch those highlights from that game. That was actually a very competitive game. But one of the gentlemen went on to say that, Miami has a bunch of thugs on the team and one of their good things is that they have a bunch of thugs on the team. So they're going to play with reckless abandon and stuff. And it's just like, there's no way it's 2025 and you still, and there's no way you aren't aware that calling those young men thugs won't go over well. There's no way you don't know that.
You know what I think is so interesting? Out of all the schools you wanted to call young men thugs, it was Miami. Like, out of all the schools you wanted to call them a thug is Miami. Like, don't they have a racial history of stories in the past already?
And also Notre Dame does not need to be trying to, if you're going to be a representation of a university, you do not need to be putting them in that type of light. And that just makes no sense. Even if that's how you personally feel, don't align yourself with the entity that definitely would not want to be aligned with that type of talk. That's just wild that you think that you have the ability to say those things and it just be okay.
They also said that they were uneducated as well. I find that so problematic.
Why are they the uneducated ones?
Those are the two tropes that people who are anti-black have for us, that we're uneducated and that and we're thugs, we're violent. When you hear stuff like that, I mean, what goes through your mind, bro? How does that make you feel?
I used to get upset, but now it's more so like, do better. It's just like, whatever at this point. If you react to it, it's, well, especially since we live in such a reactionary like climate at the moment where a lot of what we're going to end up receiving is going to be like from a podcast or, social media or something like that. I always tell people you have a finite amount of energy in your day. You got to choose what you want to use it on. And when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, I'm never going to meet this person. I don't care. They can say whatever they want. We know they're in the wrong, and we know that the karma is going to get them. But I used to hold that in, but that like Clip said, let God sort them out. We have bigger fish to fry than these little mongoloids.
So one thing I usually tell folks is that there's a big difference between being ignorant and being ignorant. You know what I mean when I say that, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for those that don't understand what I'm talking about, being ignorant, you don't know, you don't understand. You're one without knowledge, and that's perfectly fine. That's an opportunity for you to learn.
That's
But if you,
cool.
yeah, that's cool. But if you ignorant, I mean, you already know the answer, yet you choose to be stupid. You choose to act dumb. And so, I was always told that folks know when you're BSing them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you can tell when there's like a genuine, genuine shock to the person that did the offense. Like, I did not know that was racist, or I did not know that was offensive. Like, I won't use that word. I won't say XYZ ever again moving forward. That's perfectly fine. But to dig your heels in and say, no, it wasn't. It wasn't racist. What you talking about? But you proceed to protect your tweets or to wipe everything away from your, wipe your whole production away.
That's another part of the story.
Yeah,
You hit it right there. They decided to just wipe everything, went completely nuclear on all of their social media.
that tells me that you knew what you said was wrong.
You knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm. You definitely knew, because if let's say it is a big deal, but you genuinely did not know. If you, I really do believe if you could just like demonstrate to people that you will do better moving forward, or just show them genuine remorse, like, oh my gosh, I did not know that this made you feel this way. I will do better next time. Then no harm, no
But
foul. You know what I'm
but
saying?
but it's something like that, something that you can just be like, oh, I didn't know to, like, because it's no. If you choose, for one, I feel like ignorance to a certain extent is not an excuse. Just for
Mm-hmm.
some fact that if you chose to, like when we chose to do this podcast, we have to, then there's a burden put upon us to actually educate ourselves on the formalities and the things you can and cannot do, things you can and cannot say, and also knowing the history behind it as well to know, hey, certain things can be labeled as offensive, certain things can't. You are allowed to do these things and say these things. You have to make yourself aware of these things. And if you are in the sports talk world, you have to very much at the least know when you're talking about any black athletes, don't refer to them as thugs just because of the negative connotation that's been associated. Like, through how many stories have we heard of basically pundits saying the same thing? And you think in 2025, no one's going to be like, they didn't know.
I think, yeah, in 2025, yeah, the classic calling a black person a thug or they're acting like one. In this situation, you cannot call ignorance, or you can't say you genuinely didn't know. You're what, 30, probably 30 plus years old. Surely you've known, you know, surely you have had to learn or find out in between time not to say and do stuff like that. But I think we're in such a day and age where people feel like they can say and do anything they want because there are certain people in power that kind of emboldens their way of thinking, or they take a regressive approach, because there are certain folk who believe that not being racist or not saying anything racist is the hard part. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should, like, oh my gosh, the mental anguish that I go through to not say something racist. Oh my gosh. And now we have this president in office. I can say whatever I want because it's, they're snowflakes and we're dunking on the libs. Like, grow
Like,
up, man.
And especially because you're going to touch on it, I know for sure. Just acknowledge if you're going to apologize. Acknowledge what you did to offend someone and address it within yourself. That's also a big part of it. It's just the responsibility that those that when they get in these situations would make their apology a lot more sincere is when they actually identify what was the offensive point, but don't do it in a way as like, I'm sorry if I offended you.
When I hear that, that's such a weak ass apology. Every
Mm-hmm.
time, like whenever someone is in the wrong, and we all know they're in the wrong, if both parties know that there's someone who is offended and there's someone who is the offender, right? And they
Oh,
know
yes.
like, hey, what you said or what you did hurt my feelings or it made me feel some type of way. And to say, I'm sorry if I offended you, it's such a half-ass apology. You did the
It
bare
is.
minimum. It's not even an apology at that. I feel like it's low-key kind of backhanded when someone does that.
But they know that it's not real or sincere because they're not trying to be real or sincere. With the idea of sincerity, you would want to take responsibility without being defensive and
Mm.
actually work to come to that mutual understanding between the two of you to make that apology become sincere.
You know who needs to offer a decent apology right now, bro?
Who's that?
We brought him up in our previous episode, but Young Thug, he owes Glorilla an apology, in my opinion, and not the kind that he tweeted. You don't mind if I pull up this article?
Go ahead, because that. How dare you go against Glorilla? We are Glorilla. We
That was
support Glow
so
on this channel.
mean. He didn't have to do her like that. He didn't have to say anything. Just
But I
being
bump Glow to
messy.
this day. What you mean? He hasn't even really put out any heat since he came out, so he needs to calm down.
So yeah, this is according to Vibe magazine. The latest leaked call from Young Thug's time behind bars during his RICO trial finds him disparaging Memphis rapper Glorilla, calling her ugly in a mean-spirited rant to girlfriend Mariah the Scientist. The call begins with Thugger calling the type of rapper ugly as before Mariah tells I didn't mean to say it like that. Before Mariah tells him that some people believe she looks like Rihanna. Now, Thug scoffs at the comparison, describing Glow as having a long as wig and calling her skinny with a I can't even repeat that, bro. With a
Uh,
damn big head, big mouth. I will not pursue her like at all. That shit ain't none. Damn, man. Like, real quick. Let me stop sharing this. Oh,
and
let
Mariah
me.
just sitting there letting him go off about her. Like I grew up around enough women to know that for one, if a man is sitting there feeling comfortable enough to talk on a woman in that way, that says a lot about him. But for her not to check him about it says a lot about her as well.
Mm-hmm. And then, so Glorilla, she pretty much didn't say much about it. She said that this man was pressing him about the color of her eyes, and she
Mm.
tried to dismiss the situation by saying, "Hey, it's Beyonce's birthday. We got bigger things, to celebrate or to be happy about." But Thug, he posted on Twitter, Glorilla, first of all, I'm sorry to you for my words, and I honestly don't think you're ugly at all. I was speaking from jail, and I was having a hard time of life. I don't like bashing girls and hardly ever did. I'm sorry to you, twin. Bro, all right,
Uh,
that was his
I'm
apology.
sorry to you, twin, is wild after you called her ugly.
So what do you think of that apology, bro? Is that a decent apology to offer?
Any apology where you try to express remorse, but then end up trying to make yourself out to be a victim by saying, I was just going through so much at the time. And you just gotta understand. You're just trying to soften the blow so that way you can dull their pain and how they felt about this. So that way it makes it easier for them to deal with you because you don't like having to take responsibility for what you said and what you did and them taking offense to it. Like you
There we
just
go.
that was a sorry apology.
There we go. Because men's favorite word, a man's favorite word nowadays is
Accountability.
accountability.
These
We
women ain't
love
taking
saying that.
accountability.
We love saying that, especially towards women. We love saying women need to take accountability. Hold on, bro. Women need to take accountability. You see, because women don't understand what a man be going through, man. Cause women, y'all too busy eating salad, but me, I just want to eat
I'm out
steak
here
and watch
providing. I
football
do
with the
all this.
boys.
They are sad. Like,
You
and
don't know what we go through as men.
and it'll be the most milk toast, don't have any real struggle type men to be like, these women just don't understand us, man. It's like, bro, you just have no game. I'm sorry. Like you call women, you know,
You
bees
call
and
women
and
females
all
first
that.
and foremost. Lame.
Yeah, but for one, I feel like a lot of times when these dudes don't know how to approach women, it comes from the fact that they don't have homegirls or they don't have women that are friends. Because even if me and my homegirls or friends have not discussed directly what they look
Mm-hmm.
for in a man, you should be observant enough to, if you're around women a lot, to see what it is that they're attracted to, what it is that they like, they don't like. And majority of the time, they don't like it when you call them females. They don't
Mm-hmm.
like it when you start the conversation with, what do you bring to the table?
Ugh.
They want to get to know you. They don't think that, I promise you, not every woman is out here to get, $50,000 a year. I promise. Not every woman is out here to get that, bro. Like, you good, bro. I promise. These
You are
women ain't out
good.
here. They are not trying to run your pockets like that, my G. I promise. Like, you good.
And
All these women just want money and da-da-da. It's like, well, if you're going to take up their time, least you can do is take them on a date. Like,
you don't mind if I take it a step further real quick, bro?
go ahead.
I suggest we look at the bigger picture sometimes. And what I mean by that is we need to ask ourselves, why are there women who have this disdain, or they have this type of behavior that you find offensive to you, that you think they want to take your money, or just use you as food and whatnot. And I believe we need to reflect on how men have treated women in the past, and that has developed, the feelings for them to respond this way. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I'll go even deeper.
Okay.
Men need to look at the idea that the patriarchy that has built America to this point, how that has shaped how women feel that they
Mm-hmm.
need to present themselves, act in a way to be able to attract men at this point. Because at what point have women been empowered to be able to dictate how they need to be basically? I've always felt that, and maybe someone can correct me, I'm perfectly fine being corrected, but I've always felt that a lot of what women find as fashionable to a certain extent had always been to appease men, to make sure it fits their expectations when it comes to like the beauty trends and stuff like that, like the whole obsession with the BBLs and all that and things of that nature. And then if you look back through history, how certain trends when it came to what the overall sentiment was, that this is what I need to do, look like, and say and be to attract a quality man. Men have to look themselves in the mirror and be like, what did I do to contribute to what currently is out there that I'm
Mm.
complaining about?
Ooh.
Because yes, there are independent women that act and think independently. We love them. But there are also women that also move and make decisions based upon the idea that they are here to attract a mate, that they're here to get a husband, because that's what they've been told since they've been born and all that. So men have to look at themselves in the mirror and really say, like, how did I contribute to what the societal norms are for women at this point?
And so before us men say, what do you bring to the table? We need to start saying to ourselves, what do I have to bring to the table as well? And we can't be superficial when we say, I bring money, or I'm this height, or I come from this background, and things of that nature. I think we talked about it in the first episode because women, they, before we get to, the things that we like, of course, we it would be nice to have a significant other who is, who is well paid. But I'm sure women will want to know, are you a good person? Are you a good human being? How do you treat your mother? You know what I mean? What's your relationship like with her? Do you have any sisters? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you interact with women? How do you treat them? Do you think they should have rights? The, or this is gonna sound funny. You can like, it can be like a litmus test. Like, what are your thoughts on the WNBA?
That is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be
Because at
like
that point, it'll
it could
tell
be
you a lot.
yeah, it could be like, so no, here's what you need to know. You ask him this. So tell me how do you feel about Angel Reese? And see how a man reacts when you ask him about Angel
Mm.
Reese. How do you feel about
Mm.
Angel Reese? She's a great
That's gonna tell
basketball
you a
player,
lot
isn't
right
she?
there.
That's gonna tell
That's
you
gonna
a
tell you a
whole lot.
lot. Ooh, that's gonna tell
You
you a
can tell
lot.
who's gonna be a dirtbag, but if they give you like a basketball, response, like, I think she's a great player, but she lacks in this area in her game. Okay, you can work with that. But if homeboy goes off the cuff by saying something like, "Man, she doesn't deserve to be in the WNBA," or I can't stand her," or if homeboy brings up the me bounds shit, um yeah,
Hey,
you
bro,
might want to.
let's list off some red flags from men, so that way we can help out our ladies in the audience. It's like some red flags that y'all need to hear that when he says it. Like, what would it be? Because I'm not toxic anymore, so
You're not toxic anymore.
I had some
When
days.
were you ever?
You knew me in college. Uh, Future is my favorite rapper for a reason, but some red flags that if you hear a man say this, run. Yeah, I need my girl to always clean, cook, and all that. By the time I get home, I'll be tired by the time I get home. I can't do none of that, bro. I live by myself and I keep my place clean. What you doing before you got a woman? Your place just gonna be dirty until she gets there?
Hey, bro, I got a good one. I got a good one.
See, I like women to wear no makeup around me. I want them to be natural. I like them all natural.
And then show you a woman with a full beat face and a 28-inch bust down and can't tell the difference.
What's up with men in makeup?
I don't get it.
Why?
They like
I don't
I want to see
understand.
what you
I
look like.
never understood that.
I got a feeling that it comes from watching too much. I need to stop cussing. People watching movies and shows and all that. Because you got to think
Mhm.
about it. When I try to think about where it comes, like what's the root cause of it. I'm thinking it has to be from the idea that's been planted in their head from certain media shapes and forms, where it's always like, see, you gotta wipe off that makeup, and she's gonna be ugly as can be. Like, what? She hiding all that under there. Why you gotta hide all that if you're really beautiful? But then it also goes to the whole thing of the patriarchy establishing that it's looks before knowing if she's
Mhm.
actually a good woman or not.
I got another one for you, man. If a man thinks wig snatching is funny, they just find humor in seeing a man snatch a wig off of a woman. I find that so strange. But if they think that's funny, you might want to stray away from that guy.
The men that love watching the videos where like a guy will get like it's those stage videos where they'll like hire women to like walk past them and then like blow them off and then they'll like ring, ring, to a
The
super
gold
nice
digger
car and then they turn
videos.
around. Yes. Yeah, if they watch that, run.
If they're commenting on that, see, it's that type of content that feeds into that manosphere, red pill. This is why women shouldn't have rights, or this is why it's important to be a father in the household. Those type of comments are just so backhanded and lame.
And it makes no sense. It's like, bro, are y'all just angry that y'all never got any in life? Like, is that what it is? Do y'all just need to go to Vegas for a weekend and release your inhibitions? And, get out there and do something with your life, because, bruh, like, it can't be that hard out there, bro. I promise you, it's not that tough. Like, if you're just a genuine or
It's
a
not
good
that tough.
person, you can easily find someone that you can easily match with, do life with, do whatever you want with, as long as it's safe. Like, it's not that hard out here. I promise. You can find anything for you. But that may be going into a deeper conversation. But I've always hated the idea that so many people think that they have to conform to the traditional idea of a relationship and a
Mhm.
traditional, like, going through life, like, oh, I gotta get in a relationship, I gotta get married, I gotta have a kid, I gotta do, like, if that's not for you, that just ain't for you. Just find someone that you enjoy doing, being in life with. Just find that. Just do
Well,
that.
as long as it's consensual between 2 adults, there shouldn't be any issues.
Because I think that's what a lot of, well, I won't say a lot of, I think that's a part of what the current discourse is between men and women, especially in this young age, where it seems to be like every time you get on social media, it's like a man versus woman topic. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of it comes from the fact that we hate the idea that we have to conform to the traditional idea of relationships, and it also isn't very easily attainable for us, especially, due to the economic constraints and things like that as well. And there's just so many factors that go into your ability to engage with someone that may suit you better. And honestly, if we're being honest, finding the right partner is more of a game of luck than it is, intended will.
It also depends on how you approach dating as well.
True.
And nowadays, I'm gonna take it a small step further. Nowadays, women aren't they're not conforming to that traditional mindset. Now, you still have a few that, subscribe to that uh, to that way of life, and hey, more power to you. If you want to be the traditional wife, that's your love life. I'm not gonna say anything about it. They want to say, oh, women act like they don't need us. Well, nowadays, no, because back then
Women couldn't vote. Women couldn't get a credit card. Women didn't have the autonomy.
I was just looking at voting records here in Florida not so long ago, and when a woman wanted to vote, they had to be known as Mrs. in their husband's first and last
Hmm.
name. So they didn't even have a name when they wanted to go vote. You know what I'm
They
saying?
couldn't even choose. They had to vote with their husband. Like, there's no way, there were no divided households back then.
Yeah, marriage was also it wasn't always based off love. It was a business transaction. It wasn't always platonic. It didn't become love until, decades later, they didn't have anything to their name. They didn't have rights. So they of course they relied on a man, to do what they want and need. And now, we're in 2025 and folks still want to uh it feels like folks want to go back to that time.
And also, we also have to acknowledge that there is a certain level of mediocrity that has been applied because men did not feel the need to have to excel anymore. And then once women started obtaining degrees, and minorities also
Oh,
started
there you
obtaining
go.
degrees, certifications,
Mhm.
and things of that nature, they
We're not
realized
going to
that
college.
yeah, that mediocrity that you've been able to peddle for decades is no longer, sustaining. Now you have people that are obtaining secondary degrees at higher rates than, the majority have been in the past. And honestly, the majority are just not achieving at the high rate that they used to anymore. And now that the minorities are, they want to go back to it because now they feel inferior, because now it used to be, oh, well, I don't need a degree. I can just go work on the oil rig and, make money and be the breadwinner. Now it's like, well, your wife has the ability to go to college and make even more than you now. So what are you going to do?
Mhm.
And also, her job isn't dependent upon whether or not that oil rig gets shut down or not.
Dude, misogyny is so expensive. You know how folks
Hmm.
be saying racism is so expensive? So is misogyny. Gosh, it's like
But
shooting ourselves in the foot, man.
But you gotta think about it. This younger generation is challenging the idea of gender categories. They don't want to be locked into, well, if I'm a boy, I'm only playing with action figures, and girls are like, I don't want to just have to play with dolls. They want the idea that, hey, maybe I'm interested in sports as a girl, and that's why you see the WNBA as rising as it is with better athletes and things of that nature, because women aren't locked into these roles. Where the idea of, oh, if you go play sports, we're not going to look at you as feminine. It's like, no, look at the WNBA. They have amazing women out there that even if it don't matter what sexuality they align with, they can still promote femininity. They can still promote quote unquote masculinity, and it doesn't matter. They're able to do both. Like there's a balance that can be had, but because our society has been set up with these constraints, anytime that you go outside of it, you were just villainized to a certain degree, and I hate it.
I think the men who are offended by a woman's presence or how they behave towards them, I feel like that's their masculinity being challenged, and they don't like that. And they have like this strong desire to put a woman in her place.
I
And
don't see why.
I find it so strange, almost like it's a competition. And whenever folks like us, when we call it out, they say it as if we're pandering to women,
You're
as
simping.
if it's a us versus them, like, oh, you're not on our side. I'm not trying to fuel the flames of this gender war. You are, buddy.
But also, I hate it because it's like, bro, why do y'all want to be at odds so bad? It's like, bro, I don't have enough energy in my day to care about half these conversations y'all trying to have. Like,
You would
can y'all just find someone that makes you happy?
you would be better off working with them. I was talking to my shorty about this not so long ago, and I was saying there is value in being the homie. Sometimes you don't have to pursue every woman you see. Sometimes you're better off being the homie, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a homie. There's actually, depending on the woman that you meet, there's more value in being the homie. There's more value in being
Honestly.
the friend. You learn, you can still get to know a beautiful person inside and out, and have a wonderful friendship with them, and and not have to date them.
One of my biggest issues have always been with, and that's why I'm not friends with a lot of them anymore. Back,
Mhm.
especially in college, and even now, they would be like, "Bro, man, where the hoes at? Where the hoes at?" I'm like, "Shit, I don't know, wherever you want to be, wherever they at. Yeah, I don't know, man. Nah, you always be around all them females." I'm like, for one, my homegirls are not hoes. Two, do you not have? You can always kind of just look at a man and be like, I can tell you ain't got home. You don't have any real homegirls. Like you may know women, but those ain't your friends. Like you need someone that you constantly talk to that you're not pursuing in a romantic way. That is of the opposite sex, because there's no way we're raising generations of men that only believe that their interactions with women needs to be beneficial with them in a way that they can gain something from it instead of just having genuine relationships. Hey brother, I'm sorry to tell you, women are about to start being in leadership roles, and guess what? If you don't know how to interact with them, you're never going to be able to stay on a job.
Absolutely. And if you don't adapt and evolve, you're just going to be feeding the flames of misogyny, and that, or misogynoir, which is even
Which
worse
what
for
also kills
for our
me
sisters.
about the men that voted for Trump. Y'all that men that voted for Trump that have daughters.
Or
That's what always throws me off. Like there's no way you can, the fact that they went and voted and then turned around and looked their daughter in the face and said, "I love you," after voting for Donald Trump is such an affront. Like it is crazy. And I have friends that she said there was this one guy that she was talking to, and she was like, I stopped talking to him because the man didn't vote and he has a daughter. Like, no, this is the time that you need to utilize your rights. And I know a lot of people that have daughters, that have kids, and it's like, y'all just did not care enough, or you're just uneducated enough, which is ridiculous.
I I'll say this, bro. There are some men who voted for Trump because they believe genuinely, or they truly believe in their heart that their vote is to protect women, but not in the way that we think is protecting, not in a reproductive rights kind of way. They're thinking they're protecting women because they're trying to prevent trans women into the restrooms, or trans women into sports and whatnot. That's how they think they're protecting them, which is only, again, feeding unnecessary flames to a culture war. It's feeding the flames to misogyny. This stuff impacts all of us.
Want to know something crazy? Because
What's
that was
up?
a good point that you brought up about them just trying to protect everyone from the trans, and how they're making the trans like to be the public enemy #1 on the right.
Yes.
Guess what? Want to know some quick statistics about the transgender community?
Please share.
About 1% of Americans aged 13 and older identify as transgender, according to a 2025 study by the Williams Institute at UCLA. That includes 0.8% of U.S. adults, roughly 2.1 million people, 3.3% of youth aged 13 to 17, around 724,000 individuals. Among transgender adults, 33% identify as transgender women, 34% as transgender men, 33% as non-binary. These numbers reflect growing visibility and self-identification, especially among younger generations. If you're thinking about how this intersects with politics, media, or cultural narratives for a podcast segment, we could explore how these stats play out even more.
We're talking about a small percentage of people, a very, very, very small percentage. I mean, like, what when it comes to women's sports in the NCAA, that's like what, 50 players
How
who are
many
trans? Is
trans
that right?
athletes are
Can
are
you
there in
fact
the
check that real
NCAA?
quick? Yeah, fact check that for me.
As of late 2024, NCAA President Charlie Baker stated that there are fewer than 10 transgender student athletes competing across all NCAA sports out of approximately 510,000 college athletes. That's less than 0.002% of the entire NCAA athlete population.
And this is what voting for Trump does. It attacks people in a super small percentage of a minority.
He hit y'all with the pump fake real quick. He said, "Hey, go pay attention to this." No, he hit y'all with the okie doke. He said, "Pay attention to this over here while I do all
Look
this."
left and fake right. That's what he did.
Nigga hit him with that.
He hit you with that,
jab,
man.
Hit him with that jab step real quick and send him off the screen.
You weren't paying attention. Oh my gosh!
Like
how,
what?
How did you?
Like what?
Hey, he hit you with the Charlie Brown, with the Lucy football Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah, hit you with the shriek.
How you get got like that? What happened? How'd you get got like that?
Y'all got so fast too, and then now my business is failing. Oh, the guy that filed for
bankruptcy at my farm.
The guy that filed for bankruptcy 6 times. No way that he would not put you in a position to where your business may have to do the same thing. There's no way.
Look, now the hospital in your rural community is running out of money. You might have to drive an extra 5 miles to go to the hospital in case there's an emergency. That's what your vote did. Hey, all because you didn't want to. Let's go back to the root of this conversation. All because you didn't want to say sorry.
All because you didn't want to say sorry.
All because you didn't want to say sorry. Hey, I actually have a fun fact. This is from NPR. Let me share the screen real quick again. This is how to offer a apology. And I think this is something that we can all take away. So number 1, it's a 6-step process. Number 1, say you're sorry. Not that you regret, not that you are devastated. Say you are sorry. Okay.
Well,
number 2.
Step.
Yeah. Say you're freaking sorry. I apologize. Number 2, say what it is you're apologizing for. Be specific. So don't go that route saying if I offended you. You need to own up to what you did. You need to say what you did out loud. Number 3, show you understand why it was bad. Take ownership and show that you understand why you caused hurt. Number 4, don't make excuses. Don't say what Young Thug did. I was in jail. I wasn't in my right mind. Number 5, say it won't happen again and what steps you are taking. So after you own up, you're going to reassure, hey, I'm going to be doing X, Y, Z moving forward. Number 6, if it's relevant, make reparations. I'm going to pay for the dry cleaning. Just send the bill to me. I'm going to do my best to fix what I did. Try to make it right then and there. I think that is a clean, cool way to offer an apology. And here's the tough part as an adult. You can't get mad if they don't accept your apology. You can do all the right steps to make sure that apology can be perfect to the T. But
Apologies
you
do
can't
not
get
have to be
mad
accepted.
in the end. But make sure you forgive yourself.
You got to.
Got to. Oh, wrong button. Got to be better. Like that one girl.
Got to be more careful.
You guys, hey, just like that one shorty who called that one tennis player uneducated or classless. You know what I'm talking about?
Without naming Townsend, Latavian Ostapenko wrote on Instagram, "Hi all, I wanted to apologize, for some of the things that I said during my second round singles match. English is not my native language, so when I said education, I was speaking only about what I believe as tennis etiquette. But I understand how the words used could have offended many people beyond the tennis court. I appreciate the support as I continue to learn and grow as a person and a tennis player. Goodbye, New York, and I look forward to being back next year." The incident occurred at the end of the match when the two players met to shake hands. Ma'am, you may not be invited back to New York, for one, because you got beat pretty soundly. Like, you got beat 7-5 and then 6-1. Like, if you don't know tennis, the reason why it didn't go to a third round is because she got spanked.
What do you think of her apology?
It wasn't an apology.
Okay. Her explanation.
It's trash. Oh, I was talking about her tennis etiquette, and I ended up saying you have no education. You don't have etiquette. Maybe I'm being too harsh on someone who obviously doesn't speak English as their first language, but sounds like spin to me.
Can you imagine like being the person that tells her, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but that's telling a black woman that she's uneducated is super racially charged in this country." Oh,
You did that
I-
in New York.
the part where she says, "I understand how the words used could have offended." It goes back to what I said earlier. It's that if it
She's
did
not taking
offend people,
accountability. She doesn't want to take accountability.
you
She
can't take
wants
accountability or an L. That's crazy.
She wants to use her ignorance of the English language, obviously, to soften the blow of the backlash she's receiving, which she knew she was going to receive when she failed to fulfill media duties afterwards, citing medical issues. I'm sorry, but if you've watched that video, what medical issues, ma'am? Because you didn't
Being a
have no
sore
medical issues
loser.
when you ran up in her face.
Despite the outcome, when you do offer that apology, because that just gives both sides to move on, a chance to move on. But to dig your heels in and, weaponize your ignorance, it doesn't do anyone justice. And it makes you look closed-minded. It makes you look like an ass. And then the person who is offended, or, the person, who received the offense, never gets the resolution that they reserve. I mean, that they deserve, excuse me. So, at the end of the day, be a good person. Be a good person. Be a good human being. If you offended someone, take the L. I think that's the message for that. That's the message for us when we offend someone. Take the L, and that's also a message for us men. Sometimes you gotta take the L. If she don't like you, bro, take the L. It's okay. You don't have to put Shorty in her place. You don't gotta do that.
Hey,
women have always real quick. Women have always said the source to every other drama is to a woman is a man. There's always like some man, or starting some drama with women.
Speaking of men starting drama with women,
what's up?
I am proud to announce that we learned recently, earlier this week, we did it, boys. Fresh and Fit is getting off of YouTube.
No way. No way. No way.
We can't play their stuff because they'll DMCA strike us, but yeah, they are officially gone.
What button is this?
Message.
No. What
they
about
posted
this
a video earlier this week / this month.
They're leaving YouTube. Are they? Is the platform staying though?
Yeah, because they're saying that YouTube is no longer profitable for them, obviously, because they got demonetized. And they've been demonetized for like the past 2 years. So yeah, they're officially off of YouTube now. They're about to
Should
just
have been
stick to
gone.
their. And it makes sense because if you look at some of their videos, like they haven't been garnering like any traction. There's some that barely broached 10K, 60K, and they got over 1 million followers. It's like y'all lost y'all hype. Y'all I wouldn't preach peel back the sheen on y'all, and y'all started revealing yourselves to be lame. Like y'all started doing like that. They had that stupid boat party and shit where they were like those men paid all that money to get on there, and they paid OF models and stuff to come out there, and they were not interested in those men.
Like, wasn't his girlfriend, Myron's? His girlfriend wasn't really his girlfriend. That was like a whole facade.
Both of them, weirdly enough, have had girlfriend issues and drama like that. That's what happens when you basically, pay for them. And that's the thing.
Yeah,
He'll
if
be
you're
selling.
if you're getting your dating advice from Myron Gaines,
Gayness.
what do you gain from getting your dating advice from Myron Gaines? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Like he does the whole, I don't know why they're obsessed with the number 6. Like you got to make 6 figures. You got to have, you got to be over
A
6
pack
foot.
with 6 figures.
6-pack, 6 figures, 6 foot.
Oh, 666. Okay, that's the devil. Leave them.
They know
That's
what they
the
doing, bro.
devil.
Bro, a high value man, he's got to be 666.
A high
He's gotta be
value
6
man
foot.
is the
Got to have a
devil.
6-pack and got to have 6 figures. Yeah, that's a high value man right there. 666, baby.
If he says he's a high value man, run immediately.
He is of the devil.
That's the devil.
That man, if that is what he feels he contributes to the relationship dynamic, run.
Fellas,
Get up on your
come
horse.
on, fellas. we got to do better, fellas.
We.
Hey. I mean, when I say I mean we got this is a call in, not a call out.
We
We gotta take responsibility.
Hit that Uncle Phil. We.
How about instead of being mean to women, how about we behave more like the Rizbot? Have you seen the Rizbot?
No.
Oh, bro, I gotta show you the Rizbot. So the next time you approach a woman, how about you come correct like this?
Hey, my name is Jake, but perhaps better known as Rizbot. It's nice to meet you. Yo, Ma, that dark brown hair falling past your shoulders like a waterfall got me gone, shorty. Maybe go that over.
Got me going, shorty.
I'd give anything for that smile. True player for real. Real talk, Ma, that strapless romper on you is fire. Smock plastic waistband and those shorts got style. You built that life, queen.
Oh, hey. He got the dunks on. I just noticed that.
Rizbot is in Austin, Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Why does Rizbot got pandas on? Oh, those pandas, no,
Rizbot,
that's a yellow tint.
we should, I think folks can take a good example from Rizbot. You see how he was approachable? Hey, I'm Jake. Be a nice guy, man.
Hey, nah, Jake approached my girl.
Nice,
me and Jake gonna have hands, bro.
If Jake approach your girl, you gonna have a problem with him?
Bro, if I'm out in these Austin streets and he approached my shorty, we gonna have problems, bro. I'm clotheslining that man and asking him to get up.
Hey, I'm Rizbot. Hey, your shorty is looking super fine, playa. The way her afro is shining, I like that. Looking like an excellent microphone. I'd rock that.
I hate that
You
you
like
just
that?
gotta. I just hate you gotta expose my affinity for women with afros.
Women with afros are amazing. Hey, shout out to women with afros.
I know that's my favorite, but still,
Shout out to
expose
Tim's
my
just
likes.
because. Shout out to Tim's just because.
Tim,
Shout out to her.
please.
Shout out to her. HER.
Her is amazing. Yes. Send my flowers to
Tim's, if you ever see this, please send me a vinyl like the same, and then leave your kiss mark on it like you did for that one guy at the concert. Much appreciated.
Nah, you not that one
Please.
guy at the concert.
Hey, I would love to be serenaded by Tim's, bro. Burning, burning, burning.
Shut up. Shut up. Got time for your
Burning,
shit
burning,
today.
burning. I love Tim's.
I do too.
She ain't ever gonna see this.
Nope.
If you do, I appreciate it. Please send me a vinyl.
She ain't never gonna see this. Sadly. You love me.
Burning,
That's
burning,
hilarious.
burning.
I forgot that these niggas on Fresh and Fit really started crying after they got demonetized. We do this for you, man. We do this because I left an FBI job where I was saving men. Now I'm saving
Lies.
kids. I'm out here to save men now. And
You scaring the hoes, man.
it's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what if anyone's life was changed in a significant way by listening to your podcast? I have real concerns about that person's life and trajectory at that point.
If you get your entertainment from folks like Fresh and Fit,
Kevin
Adam
Samuels.
22. I'm gonna add No Jumper. If you
Vlad
watch
TV.
Vlad interviews,
I can't
DJ
stand that.
Academics, if that's your type of content, ladies, run away from him immediately.
Y'all should ask every man, can I see your YouTube history?
Mm.
Let's see what you look up on here. I need to see what type of person you are. Are you just, I only use it for music type person? Are you watching podcasts regularly? You would hate my search on here. 'Cause
what does your
mine is
YouTube
usually-
history look like?
I don't know. Let's see.
I'm about to look mine up too, real quick.
Dallas Cowboys, non-copyrighted music, BMW X1 review, video game stuff. I need to clear this out, actually. Yeah. I'll do better. But yeah. I wanted to watch the game, but it's on YouTube TV, and I don't need the NFL striking down our videos because they see live action. Actually, let me move it all the way off of there.
Here we go. I have video essays, podcasts. I enjoy watching video essays. How-tos. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I'm learning how to DJ, so there's like a lot of setups, how-tos, and whatnot. Music, DJ mixes. That's pretty much it on my end. But the most recent is a video essay. I enjoy watching video essays, bro. That is like my favorite thing to do, bro.
I can believe it.
I want to put you on this one video essay before we wrap it
Bro.
up.
What's up?
Oh, who's retiring? Speaking of old, 50 Cent look old, bro. Did you see him in that Street Fighter picture?
Mm-hmm. I'm
He
ready
look
for the
like
Street Fighter
somebody's
movie.
uncle. Ooh, that movie is going to be really good or really bad.
True. Like that is an
Or it might be
understatement.
mid. Or it might be a mid movie. It could be straight to DVD.
It could be straight DVD because either way, I'm gonna watch it.
Hey, when was the last time you watched a movie straight to DVD?
But I don't think that exists anymore because of Netflix.
Here's your mission for listeners. Your mission for episode 11 is to let us know what movie did you buy on DVD. We need to go back to physical media, physical copies. It's one thing to stream and enjoy all these things, but it's another thing to have a physical copy of the media that you enjoy.
I
know that was so
implore
sporadic.
everyone to go to their local. We have movie trading companies around here. Go keep physical media alive. Like, go get some DVDs, some Blu-rays, some manga, comics. Like, if you don't know me, obviously I collect a lot of comics and stuff as well.
Buy some records. Buy some
That's
records.
That's a bag of books right there, but there's comics behind that too. Like, just keep physical media alive. Like, we don't need to lose these things.
But what we can do, and just circling
can we
back
do?
to this conversation, what we can do is own up to our mistakes when we offend somebody, and just freaking say sorry. Just say, hey, it don't take much to say sorry, my boy.
It don't.
I'm good on wrapping this up over here. What about you?
I'm chilling, actually.
I'm good. This was a good chat. I like this one. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. Cool. So thank you for joining us for episode 10. Hey, if there's something that you want us to talk about, you got something on your mind, let us know. Send us an email, porchlighttheory@gmail.com. Again, that is porchlighttheory@gmail.com. You know, send us a meme. Send, you know, tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like.
Do
I
something.
want to know. Do something.
No, I can't sing that.
Share, review, and subscribe. Do those 3. Because when you do that, people like you that find people like us. Okay? You want the fresh and fits to keep making numbers? Or do you want the Porchlight Theory to do at least somewhat decent?
Somewhat.
And last but not least, I want to show some love to the ladies of the Yap Me Baby podcast.
Hey,
give
ladies.
a quick shout out to them. Shout out to the ladies over there. If you like the Porchlight Theory, then I am sure you would like the Yap Me Baby podcast. Please give them a listen. And then when you do, write in the comments, tell them that the Porchlight Theory sent you. That sums it up for tonight's episode of Porchlight Theory, episode 10. It is so cool that we are at the double digits now. That is so cool, bro. That is so cool.
Looks like we made it.
We made it. All right, this wraps up episode 10. Episode 11 is on the way. Peace out, y'all.